Hey everyone, welcome back to more Kira. This is part 9. In our last episode, we got to perform for the public in a shopping mall. We were extremely nervous, but we wore masks for some reason so people wouldn't see our identities. But it turns out we just ended up looking really stupid. And then we learned the joys of cursing. Like, a lot. Like, every other word is just an F-bomb. Which made for some humorous interactions. So anyway, with that, let's continue. Since the Golden Week has passed, it's been raining. Since our main practice area is the riverbank, the bad weather means we lose practice time. However, we don't have enough money to rent a studio every time it rains, so we try to find a different place to practice. But the school gym is full of sports club members who have also had to find a place to practice. When we try to use the chapel, the pastor kicks us out. That's understandable. When we try the karaoke box by the school, we're told that we're too loud. Too loud, come on, man. It's karaoke. So, on the days like that... Oh, I can actually choose, okay. Should I just enjoy my day off? Yeah, enjoy my day off. We usually practice every day, so I've decided to give myself a break on those days. Don't want to get burned out too much, right? Things like this are best not forced. We have to take a break once in a while. Okay. It's probably the wrong choice to make, I'm sure, but yeah. There's no school today. When I wake up in the morning, I see it's raining. I call Chie-nee, and as I expected, a band practice is canceled. Relieved, I go back to bed. Staying in bed until around noon is probably the greatest happiness of my life. Personally, I don't like staying in bed that late. After I wake up for the second time, I turn the TV on and watch it while slurping from a cup of noodles. When I'm done, I decide to pull out my MP3 player and listen to some music. As I listen to the music, I think about our original work. To Noah Nakenta suggests creating our own original music is the one of the day. Our own music, huh? That'll be interesting. You want to play at least one original piece, don't you? It's a live concert, after all. When we were talking about what to perform on stage in the clubroom, Chie-nee offers a suggestion. We gotta learn how to write music, though. I mean, it's true that the audience will respond to well-known popular songs. Original songs often get no response, but... Chie-nee wrote original on the page we were putting the title of the songs we were going to perform and circled it. I think the true joy of being a band is to perform our original numbers. It's fun to do someone else's work, I know, but don't you all want to play your own work? Well, you couldn't answer right away. We only just got to the level where we could play, so we weren't sure about creating our own piece. You know, it'll be good practice, too. As you create your own work, you'll understand music at a deeper level. Well, maybe this is more of my wish for you to challenge yourselves as a band. I truly feel that your band will be very interesting. I think you can do more than just playing someone else's work. I agree. We want to get our own identity, after all, right? I was a little surprised because this was the first time Chie-nee complimented us. When it comes to music, Chie-nee neither compliments nor criticizes easily. He's very cautious, so when Chie-nee says things like that, he sounds convincing. We decided to work on our own original piece, though not necessarily because of what he said. In fact, we all had the desire to write our own music. Chie-nee was right about that. It must be natural that when you can create a sound, you want your own music. So we set the date and decided that each of us should come up with something by that day. Put some notes down and try to play. It's my own phrase, so of course I want to play well. Before I know it, I'm challenging a new teaching technique. We're growing as a band. Slowly but surely. Fast-paced American music is coming from my headset. People say punk rock has simpler melody lines compared to other types of music, but when I try to compose, it's not that simple. When I listened to the music before, sometimes I wanted to make fun of it. But now, when I listen, all I feel is respect. Anyway, someone with real training like Kashiwara probably writes something like this easily. I bet Karara can do it pretty easily, too. She's always singing her own arrangements of CM songs. Chie-nee may struggle because she's so diligent, but she might come up with something decent. I'm sure I'm hopeless. But doesn't that mean that even if I don't put much effort into it, other people will do their own things anyway? Maybe. I think about it for a while. Then I get sleepy and doze off again. When I wake up, it's already evening. There must have been a call because my cell phone is blinking. When I open it, there are 3 missed calls from Chie-nee. Oh, she's gonna be mad. Must have rang, but I didn't hear it at all. When I'm thinking, I shut everything else out. I call her while telling myself it's a habit I need to get rid of. I knew it was something like that. When I explain, Chie-nee laughs bitterly on the phone. Since we've known each other for a long time, something like this doesn't make her angry. That's good. So how's the competition coming along? It's hard. So it is. How about you, Chie-nee? Same here. I see. I was relieved to hear Chie-nee's having a hard time also. It's not that easy for amateurs like us. I know, just learning about the bass is hard enough. Even if I read books, learning other people's parts is impossible. I really commend the people who can just listen to a song and immediately know all the notes and stuff that are being played and being able to transcribe it. It's pretty impressive. Hey, I'm on the drum. I only know how to make rhythm. Either I have to study more or I have to work with the other parts. Chie-nee sighs. Anyway, Shikanosuke, want to do something to refresh ourselves? What do you have in mind? She suggests we go to the instrument shop. She says there's a big shop only 2 stations away. Now, I was going to ask Kashi, but I thought maybe I should go with another rhythm player. What do you think? Sure, let's do it. Let's get out of here. Whereas we're obviously doing nothing but thinking and sleeping. Let's go stretch our legs. Okay, let's go. The rain is bothering me a little, but I don't think we'll come up with a good idea just staying here. Besides, I want to get a decent bass at the music shop too. Chie-nee agrees and says rather happily. I'm glad. Whatever she means. A real one, or maybe I should put it this way, showing my respect a true Fender. I've seen one at the studio and also someone else playing. I've even touched one before. But when I see a brand new one, I realize how cool it looks. What's the difference between this one and mine? I asked Chie-nee while holding the real one. I want to ask you this, what's similar? It's a tough question. I think for a minute. They both have the same numbers of strings. I lift it to my eye level and look at the neck part from the side. What are you doing? Well, Tsunoya said to me before that my bass had broken strings for a long time, so its neck is warped. So I wanted to see if this one had a warped neck. I see, so, is it warped? I can't tell. Maybe we should have invited Tsunoya to come along, huh? That's a good idea. I know, but I bet he's busy. I think he has Star Generation practice today. Really? But it still surprises me that he's actually the member of the Star Generation. I would have guessed he's just a famous guy. Chie-nee sighs. She's right. We've been spending a lot of time together lately, so we've gotten used to it. But among the band fans, he's a hero. I wonder what kind of practice he does with his own band. I wish we could see it sometime. I don't. I'd be nervous and I'd probably lose my confidence. What a coward. Chie-nee laughs. Oh, Chie-nee. But it's okay. I don't actually have any intention of buying a new bass. I actually like the one, to be honest with you. If Tsunoya starts to talk about how wonderful a new instrument is, I might change my mind. I know what you mean. Chie-nee laughs. When it comes to instruments, he really gets into it, doesn't he? His eyes even change. I know, it's so weird in that sense. It's like an evil spirit takes over or something, or maybe it's taken over already. I'll tell him if you go on. Don't, please don't, I beg you. We both laugh. I'm just kidding. I want to go on a date with you alone anyway. What? Is this a date? I don't know. That's not fair. She's the one who said it. Hey, do you want to look at the drums? I want to look at the snare drum and the kick pedal. As I become silent, Chie-nee changes the subject. We're on a date? Okay, awesome. We head to the drum area. She wants to look at our snare drum and the kick pedal. Yeah, we know. She just said that. I'm going to try to explain to you what they are with my limited resources. First, the snare drum is located closest to the drummer, and it's a flat drum. It's used the most, therefore it's the most important drum in the drum set. The kick pedal is used to hit the bass drum, which is located by the foot of the drummer, and it's the biggest drum. When you step on the pedal, the hammer gets lifted. When Chie-nee asked Chie-nee what she should get first as a drummer, he recommended we purchase those two. So she's looking at those mainly, but of course I don't have any knowledge. I can differentiate the sounds, but I can't really tell what's good and bad. A high tone, a low tone, an overtone. I've heard the words, but I have no idea what they mean. Music is such a difficult subject. Don't you think the louder the better? That's the best suggestion I can come up with. Are you sure about that? Chie-nee tilts her head. Or maybe more expensive means better quality? Maybe, but usually it's not the case. Of course, I know that. I'm trying to spend as little as possible and find the best quality. That's why it's hard. Chie-nee sighs. Yeah, if you can go out and just buy the best thing, like buy the most expensive things, that's one thing. But when you actually have a budget to work on, it would be much harder to differentiate what you want. Why are you asking me? I can't help you with something like that. Hey, don't say that. I need your help. Oh, look, there's a high one over there. There's a hi-hat over there. I think I like the hi-hat the best among the drum set. Why? I like the way it moves, and there's so many different ways to play. Is that right? Yeah, is there something particular you like? You're the one who wants to play it. Well, I honestly think I like the crash cymbals because it plays the loudest. Yep, I always wanted to just go crazy with them. I know what you mean. That does feel good. Why don't you try the drums sometime? I'll think about that. We look around inside of the store. Before we know, we're trying the electric drums, having fun playing with the different sounds on the synthesizer. We completely forget why we came here for. I guess this is expected. After we spend enough time playing with different instruments, we leave the music store without buying anything. Then we decide to grab something to eat at the cafe nearby. The cafe is famous for its hamburgers. I ordered a salad burger, and since Chie-nee's vegetarian, she orders a fish burger. Hey, our fish meat isn't... The whole point of being a vegetarian is that you don't eat meat? I don't know. Maybe fish burger means something different in Japan. I just don't know what it is. I'm a fast eater, and Chie-nee's a slow eater. Chie-nee's like me. I eat horrifically slow, and I hate it, but I can't really fix it. When I'm done with my meal, Chie-nee still has at least half of hers left. She doesn't rush herself. She's at her own pace. Usually, if your companion finishes first, you try to hurry, but not Chie-nee. That's just her personality, I guess. Lately, she shows a lot of the worrisome side of her, but she's usually very laid back. She watches the rain from the window and takes small bites of her fish burger. I think it's strange that she's okay with poultry and fish, but not animal flesh. Okay, good, so at least he brought that up. I think there are more than usual numbers of vegetarians at Uba Academy because of the religious reasons, but that's not the reason for Chie-nee. Chie-nee is an atheist. Actually, although Uba Academy is a mission school, there aren't too many believers there. Of course, there are more than in a regular school, but after all, we're talking Japan. Not too many students are that religious. I don't think there are that many people who actually go to the service on Sundays. The ceremonies we have at school are rather religious, but aren't most school ceremonies like that one way or another? Ours are just a little different, that's all. I didn't choose this school because of the religious reasons either. Simply because of what my teacher told me. Obi is such a free atmosphere. I think you'll fit right in. So I applied and I got in. That's it. That's a good story. So just because she doesn't eat meat, she's always misunderstood. When she was in elementary school, she and I went to one of our friends' birthday parties. I'm sure the mother of the friend thought Chie-nee belonged to one of those weird religions. It didn't bother her, but it bothered me, and I still remember very well. I think it's more of a physical reason for Chie-nee. She even gets nauseated when she smells meat. I've known her for a long time, but I still think that's strange. She is more sensitive than she looks. She's tapping the edge of the table with her finger while eating her burger. I can hear a different sound, too. She must be tapping her foot, too. I guess that has become her habit since she's playing the drums all the time lately. I watch her left hand, feeling impressed how she can keep the rhythm. Then she notices me and smiles bashfully. Aww. A weird habit, huh? Bad manners, too. Although it's not like I have good manners to begin with. That can't be helped. I hear the bass sound in my head all the time. It's like shaking a leg, isn't it? It's more like a hip-hop guy. You know, one of those people who keeps the rhythm with their whole body. No way, you're just saying that. Chie-nee frowns. I guess, but that's just because it can't be helped. All we've been doing lately is practice, practice, practice. I'm sure we're all experiencing it. Shino's always humming. And she's been doing that since well before we started practice. I know, but we've been practicing too much, I think. I agree. We should be studying instead of practicing. What are we doing? Sometimes I feel strange. Feel strange? I wasn't like this before. Well, you're right. Ever since this year started, I've been getting into trouble all the time. I get yelled at for making noise. People look at me strangely for using weird language. I rarely got yelled at before. Yeah, when you tell people to F off. You know, people get resentful. They don't like that. Chie-nee's size big. That's punk. I remember Murakami said punk is anger. But in our case, it's more like people getting angry at us, huh? That's great. If I knew this would happen, I would have asked to do a different type of band, something more peaceful. Chie-nee sighs. I think of something else looking at her face. She's more cheerful than before. Her expression changes quite a bit lately. What happened last year is still bothering me. Well, what happened? Please tell me. Flashback. It happened a year ago during last year's summer break. Right after the summer break started, her father, I was calling him Isurugi Oji-san, was found with his mistress. Uh-oh. And there was records of conversations with an unknown lady on his cellular phone. Detailed emails. Chie-nee's mother found them. That's how everything started. Oh boy. I'm sure she was suspicious, and that's why she checked his cellular phone. She confronted him. He didn't come up with excuses. Actually, he told the truth. He told her how unhappy he was, and he blamed her. I don't know about the details, but I heard that he said some cool stuff. The day after this fight, he left the house and never came back. He left 2 small children, a fatigued Oba-san and his oldest daughter, Chie-nee. Once we became teenagers, we didn't keep contact. So when I heard this, I was worried, but still didn't try to contact her directly. That's when we met coincidentally. It was raining that day, just like today. I was in a hurry to get home. I don't remember where I went that day. Probably an arcade or a movie or something. If neither one, then maybe I was just wandering around the town. It was right after I quit the tennis club, so I didn't have anything to do. But I was too bored being at home. I was spending such restless days. It was raining hard. Big drops of rain hit the asphalt, and the noise was shutting out everything else. It's strange that it almost had some kind of lightness. Even with an umbrella, I was soaked below my knees. Every step I took, my feet swam inside of my shoes. When I was about to turn the corner at the Inari Shrine, I found Chie-nee trying to find shelter. I saw water dripping from her bangs. Was her skin that pale because she was cold in the rain? Her shirt stuck to her shoulders and I could see her skin. She smiled at me. I said, Chie-nee, what are you doing? A long time no see. My umbrella broke. Chie-nee smiled. You already soaked. What's the point of trying to find shelter? I looked at her feet. Her bare toes in the sandals were moving timidly. I understand if she was wearing shoes, but since she had sandals, she shouldn't care. You're right, but I just can't find the perfect timing to jump out in the rain. You're so silly. Here, you can use my umbrella. Hurry up and go home. But no, that's okay. I don't think I can get any wetter than this. Aren't you cold, though? I thought it'd be okay since it's summer, but when I'm standing still, I get a little chilly. Of course, you don't want to go home or something? Why do you say that? Anybody would think that if they saw the situation. Do you think so? Of course. I say so, but my words are awkward. Hey, have you heard about our family? Yeah, but I don't know the details, though. My mom told me, but I don't know that much at all. And how much do you know? Well, I wondered how much I should tell her that I knew. I answered while feeling awkward. Your dad had an affair and left the house, right? Yep, so what do you think? What do you mean? You know, our house being like this. I'm shocked that your dad did something like that. He played with me when I was little. So you're shocked too, huh? Of course. What did you think? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. She'd usually come back with casual words. At that time, her words were heavy. But I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. I don't think he's a bad person. A lot more, huh? I don't know if I has anything to do with it, but the other woman is supposed to be really pretty. Not much. Supposedly. If she's that beautiful, then I guess it can't be helped. I joked a little and she smiled bitterly. And asked me another question. By the way, are you all better now? Not really. What happened to the club? It's not official yet, but I'll quit. After the summer, I'll go and turn in the notice. Think I'm going to find a part-time job. It's too bad. It never lasted as long with the tennis club before. I sure caused them enough problems, so I guess it's time. Can't burden them anymore. She leaned against the shrine wall and didn't move. She tried to act normally, but I was sure she was suffering inside. I could understand she didn't want to go home, but I couldn't leave her alone here. If you don't have anything to do, why don't you come over to my house? Can I? She seemed surprised at that. I gave a towel to Chie-nee. She dried her freshly shampooed hair. She just got out of the shower and I gave her my sister's clothes. I'm sorry the room's a mess. What do you mean? It's unbelievably clean. Are you sure you live here? Well, of course I do. How rude. You don't care about anything, but when it comes to cleaning, you're so particular. Actually, this is messy to me. Do you need a hairdryer? Messy. Right. Okay. I'd kill for a room that looks as good as that. She shook her head, kept towel drying her hair. She looked sad. She must have been tired from standing in the rain, but her emotional load was weighing heavily on her as well. The room was quiet and I could hear the sound from TV downstairs. Yuko hasn't changed, has she? She watches TV with such a high volume. I was at the tower to turn the volume down. I wonder if she's become kind of hard of hearing. Is she in junior high? Yep. How about your sisters? Are they in elementary school? A third grader and sixth grader. They're just little kids. Already? I thought they were just born yesterday. Really? Sure. That's a rough sense of time. And you think so? Yeah, because it's 10 years ago. It's a flash. Really? It felt very long to me. She looked downcast, but then she looked up. Yeah, are you sure it's okay for me to be in a room like this? Why? Because don't you have a girlfriend? But that doesn't matter. I've known you for a long time and we're not like that. But girls usually don't like it. Actually, we haven't talked for a while. I think she doesn't like me anymore. Don't say that. I know, but I just don't understand what girls are thinking. Maybe I'm just not good at it. You think so? I don't know what kind of girl she is, but I think you're sweet. She says I'm cold. I think I know what she means, too. Which is it? I laughed, but she didn't say a thing. And silence filled the room. We didn't have anything to talk about. Sorry, it was none of my business, huh? She apologized, which made the air in the room even more dense. Trying to change the things around, I went downstairs and brought back 2 cans of juice. She chose the sports drink and I took the can of Coke. I sat on the chair and take a couple pills from the drawer and take some with the Coke. Are you still taking medications? Maybe I don't need to anymore, but I still have some left. Do you have to finish? I don't know, but I don't want to waste them. It's not a snack or anything. I don't want to be wasteful. Again, the silence fills the room. Knowing her delicate situation, I just didn't know what to say. I'm sure she was feeling the same way. The situation wasn't the only reason. We just didn't have anything common that we could talk about casually. We hadn't been in touch for a long time, and there was too much we don't know about each other. Maybe there were too many sensitive issues which we didn't have when we were little. Also, we were both going through some rough situations. It's getting stuffy, isn't it? I didn't know what else to do, so I looked for the remote for the air conditioning. My parents might get a divorce. I see. I should have said something more, but I didn't know what to say. It must be tough. Tough, I guess, but I don't know. It's not like I'm getting a divorce. It sure is exhausting. She sighed. That's when she showed her true emotion. Hey, she looked at me. What? Do you think I have to hate my dad? What do you mean? Because I think this is awful. I'm okay, but when I think of my little sisters, it's awful. They need both parents. He can't do this to them. So I thought maybe I have to hate them for it. You don't want to hate him? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like the house anymore because of us. I wouldn't know that, but I think it's up to you how you want to feel about your dad. I know that, but... Besides, you're the only one who knows your true feelings. You're the only one who has to decide. She nodded. You're right. Sorry for asking such a stupid thing. She laughed a little. Don't mention it. Maybe I said more than I should anyway. Time will solve a lot of this stuff. I think it's best not to think too much. That might not sound convincing coming from me, though. Thanks. You're the only one I can talk to about things like this. Sure, we've known each other for so long. If there's anything you need to vent, I'm here for you. Yeah, but I'm okay. I feel much better now. You sure? You didn't say much. Do you think so? Sure, there must be more. Deep inside of you, more dark hatred, intent to kill, abnormal sexuality, things like these. Come on, you can tell me. I don't have any of those. She laughed. I was relieved to see that she could laugh at my joke. Okay. Oh, by the way. What? I was gonna say while I was on the roll, but I felt embarrassed, so I stopped. It was hard to say, but I had to. I was embarrassed, but I said it while scratching my head. If you can't take it, you can cry here. After I said it, I laughed, trying to hide my embarrassment. I don't mean in a weird way. I think crying is a good way to get rid of stress. They do say that, but I don't think I can cry. I can't depend on you anymore. She smiled. I sighed. Okay, anyway, you need to get plenty of rest and hang in there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you thinking about me while you're going through a lot yourself. I'm all better. Do you want to lay down a little? Why don't you take a nap? You look sick. Are you sure? Yeah, your clothes aren't dry yet anyway. At least until the dryer stops. Get some rest. Thanks, I really appreciate it. I straightened the sheets on the bed and she lied down. I'll be downstairs, so call me if you need anything. I tried to leave the room. Is Shikanosuke? She stopped me. I turned around and saw her smile. No, nothing. She took a couple-hour nap and went home. Her parents divorced soon after that. The second semester started, but Chie-nee didn't show up at school. I started my part-time job, so I was busy. That rainy day was the last time I saw her. Someone told me that she went to her grandparents' house with her mother. I'd never seen Chie-nee so weak before, so I was worried. But because of the situation, I didn't want to be too nosy. Of course, I didn't want to ask her directly. She called me once, but I was working, so I couldn't answer. When I called her back later, I couldn't get through. Then the time passed, and the next time we saw each other was when she came back to school. She didn't come to school once during the second semester. She came back near the end of the third semester. I think it was obvious at that time that she had to repeat the year, but she talked to me as if nothing had changed. My mom had a rough time. I had to take care of my sisters and around the house, so I couldn't come to school. I thought of quitting, but my mom told me that I have to at least graduate. Chie-nee showed her normal smile, but what she's saying sounded serious. I don't know exactly what she's trying to tell me, so I didn't know what to answer. Then she changed the subject. Hey, if you haven't decided what club to join after quitting the tennis club, why don't you join our club? The Second Literature Club needs members. She explained about the activities at the Second Literature Club. When she was done, I asked her why she called. Nothing really, I just thought I wanted to talk. I really didn't have anything important. She laughed. Wanted to talk. She never calls me just because she wants to talk. I think she was really feeling weak. So, you gonna join our club? Come on, answer me. I don't think there's any reason why you wouldn't. I was sort of forced to say yes, and that's how I became the member of the Second Literature Club. I've never seen her feeling down since that time, but I think she's making herself act cheerfully. I feel a little distant because she's doing it even with me. So I'm still worried, but at the same time, I feel I don't have the right to dig at her into her deep emotions, so I can't ask her. When she finishes her meal, she folds the wrapper on the table. Should we go? Make sure she's ready to leave. She nods lightly and then calls me. Shikanosuke? What? You look good. Do you remember? Right after you quit the tennis club, you looked like you were about to die, so I'm happy to see you doing well. That's exactly how I felt about her, but I kept that to myself. Alrighty guys, I think this is a good time to break up the episode, and I will see you in part 10, so take it easy guys.